On the 6th of February 2023, at 4:17 in local time, a magnitude 7.8 earthquake hit the Pazarjik province of Kahramanmaraş, catching nearly all residents in their sleep. Immediately after the earthquake, government bodies, NGOs and international rescue teams quickly started the search and rescue efforts. 9 hours later, at 13:24 local time, a second earthquake of magnitude 7.7 hit the Elbistan province of Kahramanmaraş. The second earthquake caused the collapse of buildings that were damaged by the first earthquake and significantly slowed down the search and rescue teams. The earthquakes have impacted an area of approximately 110,000 kilometers squared. According to UNDP estimates, 210 million tons of rubble, equivalent to 14,000 football fields covered with 1-meter tall debris, will need to be cleared. The total population that was directly affected by the disasters is estimated to be near 15.2 million in the 11 cities that have been significantly damaged by these earthquakes and the aftershocks that followed. Out of the 15.2 million people affected, 4.1 million are women and 4.5 million are children. The earthquakes have caused approximately 2 million people to relocate, and more are expected to move out of the region. The confirmed numbers of casualties is greater than 50,000. The earthquakes have caused an estimate of $34.2 billion in direct damages, which nearly equates to 4% of the Turkish GDP. And the rebuilding efforts are expected to cost approximately double that. It has been 110 seconds since the beginning of this video. 110 seconds is the length of both earthquakes combined. Tens of thousands of people have lost their lives and millions of people have been severely damaged physically, mentally and financially in such a short amount of time. As policy and opinion leaders, our responsibility is to take action. Not in the next decade, next year, next month or next day. We have to take action today. To do so, we have to learn from our past experiences and listen carefully to what the experts have to say.
We have experienced one of the greatest natural disasters in the world history, which was described as the disaster of the century. The area directly affected by the earthquake is larger than many countries in Europe. For example, it is 3 times larger than Switzerland, the Netherlands, and Denmark, and larger than the area of Bulgaria. The population directly affected is about twice the size of New York City. These earthquakes caused extensive damage in a total of 11 provinces. They were unprecedented in terms of their intensity and coverage. The earthquakes resulted in over 50,000 fatalities, damage to the over 500,000 buildings, and harm to communication and energy infrastructure, resulting in significant financial losses. Turkey has the highest number of active faults in its territory compared to any other country in the world. Some of these faults extend beyond the country's borders into neighboring countries. The fault lines responsible for the February 23 earthquakes continue southward towards the Dead Sea Rift, where the risk has increased after the recent seismic activity. As the conclusion remarks, the magnitudes MW 7.7 and 7.6 of the February 6, 2023 major earthquakes exceeded the max values expected for the source region of these earthquakes. Similarly, the intensity of the ground shaking, defined as the peak ground acceleration, exceeded the values defined in the building construction codes. The fault ruptures associated with both the major events were very complex. Several fault segments failed as domino effect of triggering ruptures on the nearby faults. The rupture sequence of the MW 7.7 earthquake initiated on an off fault called Narlı Fault that was ruptured by a MW 6.8 earthquakes. The rupture on the Narlı Fault propagated toward the East Anatolian Fault and triggered the major earthquake, resulting in magnitude MW 7.7. As a final word, collaborative efforts among the countries affected by these faults are necessary to increase their resilience against natural disasters.
After the immediate search and rescue efforts, the normalization and rebuilding efforts began. Government bodies, NGOs, corporations and individuals started working to meet the basic needs of the people affected by the earthquakes and implemented various projects to improve their living conditions by providing the victims with temporary shelters, hot meals, psychological support, education and psychosocial development needs of the children. The priority of individuals and policymakers should be focusing on rebuilding disaster-struck areas now, starting the necessary process of finding the power to rebuild through the unity of the people and preparing for the future.